Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dami Fadira and it's so good to have you guys here finally. So if you do not already know, this channel I'll be sharing all of my experiences, all of my thoughts, and my journey as an international student living here in the UK. Yeah. So on today's video, I'll be sharing those moments that led to my move into the UK finally last year. And honestly, a lot of things happened, and I pray I remember every detail. But don't worry, I'll share everything with you guys. So if you've not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Like, I don't know. So please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment because I'll read through all of the comments and I'll respond accordingly. And also, if there's any video you want me to make, if there's anything you want to ask me regarding studying here in the UK, make sure you leave a comment down below. Make sure you send me a DM and I would respond accordingly. So without further ado, let us get right into the video. Alright guys, so let's get into the gist. I know you guys like gist. Okay, so I was supposed to come into the UK in January of 2020, but I came last year. So I've been in the UK almost a year now. And in January of 2020, I was so confident I was coming. Like, if you have all of your documents and everything, you have the money, like at least you have the money to come here, you definitely will get your visa. Like, that is it, so guaranteed. So I was so sure I was coming, like there was nothing that was going to stop me. But at that moment, something had just happened in my life that literally changed everything. So I was in a lot of trauma. Like, it was not even a good experience. But like coming to the UK was like that way I was going to escape from all of my problems, right? I felt like it was going to just kind of bring a kind of positive vibe to my life and to my family. So my mom and my siblings were very, very excited about the whole move. So I've done all of the things I'm supposed to do. But there was something that was left. Now, before then, I resigned from my job because guy, nobody has money to be wasting. Like, I don't have money to be dashing my organization because of whatever. So I'd given my 2 week notice and everything. Because trust me, when you come here, or even come the whole process of coming here and even moving here, it's a lot of money. So every single dime counts, like every single kobo counts. So yeah, so I'd resigned. I was so sure I was like coming and everything. So there was something that was left. In fact, with the level of my confidence, let me tell you, I had already paid for my application fee, like my visa application fee. I'd paid for my health insurance, whatever fee and everything. So it was just for me to get one thing, just one thing. In fact, God, oh my God, I paid for priority. So if you know this, the standard application is the priority and the super priority. I paid for priority, which was like an extra 100 and something K at that moment. But I was like, fine, I just needed to come because my uni was resuming like in 3 weeks or so. Fine. So the last document that was remaining was my tuberculosis test, whatever. But I knew I didn't have tuberculosis. Like, how would I have tuberculosis? So I good. So I went for my test. I booked an appointment, went to IOM in Ikeja, in Lagos, Nigeria. So I went there. When I got there, it was time for my test. I did my registration. Then I was directed to say doctor, to just have like a chit chat and stuff. So I spoke with the doctor. She's like, oh yeah, so if you get the test done, if you do the X-ray, because you have to like an X-ray, blah blah blah. So by the time we do the X-ray and everything is fine, you get certificates today. But if they see something that seems suspicious, they would probably ask you to come for 3 consecutive days and you get your results, like to give them like to do a sputum test. So it's like taking like spit from you or saliva from you, and they'll test for a couple of weeks, and by the I think it's 6 weeks, or I think it's 6 weeks. I mean, yeah, 6 weeks, you get your results and everything. I'm like, please, I don't even want to hear that because what's my business with saliva and all of those things. So I went to do my X-ray. It was fine. I sat down and I realized people started going. They're calling their names. Where is that Mifadira now? Call my name now. I was like, fine, Sha. Then when people that came before me had gone, I realized that people that came after me started leaving also, started calling their names. I'm like, kid, what kind of problem is this one like this? Fine, Sha. So I was patient. Then I heard my name and I was like, finally, check in Tema. Let me be going to my house. They're like, oh yeah, Mr. Fajira, the doctor would like to see you. I'm like, I don't get it. Why does the doctor want to see me? Like, I do not get it. So I was like, fine, okay. I was scared, but I was like, maybe it's just my thoughts and everything. But I also remember a doctor had mentioned that if you're asked to see them, there's a possibility, in fact the chance is like 90% that you will not get results that day. So I went upstairs, I had a doctor, and she was like, oh, Dami, I'm so sorry, but we know we checked your, we did the x-ray, and from the result we can see something that seemed like a scar on your lungs, and we'll have to like test you further to be sure you don't have tuberculosis and everything. Ah, I remember that day I just started crying because the only thing I had at that point was my move to the UK. That was the only thing I had left. So I was like, I didn't have a job. Um, I was supposed to go and I cannot go. And now they're saying they want to test me. What if I have tuberculosis? Like that is so I was like, okay, fine, fine, it's curable, so there's no problem, like if there's anything. But she asked me like few other questions and stuff, and she was like, and so I told her, she was like, oh, so like, what's your health condition? Like, what has it been? Like, is there anything you're missing out? I was like, oh yeah, last year, that was in November of 2019. I think I had pneumonia, and it was like a severe one. I was in the hospital for a couple of days and everything. So she was like, well, that might be the cause, but they would need to just be sure that it's not it. So I need to come for 3 consecutive days. That was in, I think, in the first week of January. Yeah. And my university was resuming in the third week of January. So there was no way I could have, there was not even a way. So I just knew that I was not going. At that moment, I remember I cried so much. Oh God. I cried. The way I got on that day, I don't remember. I shall know I shall got up to God be the glory in my life. And I think because I worked at an agency, so I went to my agent's place first, and it was like, oh my God, like why, like it felt very bad. So I was like, okay, yes, I'll get refunded of my, all of my application fees since I just paid the day before. Let me tell you, see, today the only thing I got was my health insurance. I did not get the application fee back. It pained me because that was like over, I don't know, I can't, maybe like almost 200 kills. So I can't remember. And I told you every single money counts. So when I got home, my mom tried to like pet me and just advise me. Then I had like a few friends that like not a few, like two friends that knew about it. They just tried to encourage me to know that I'm going to be fine, blah blah blah. And then I resigned from my job, and my pride, I can be very proud. My pride was not going to allow me go back to my organization to ask them that, okay, please can I get a job? So I told my mother, you know what, fine. I had saved some money before. I'm going to go to a fashion school and learn something, learn some things about fashion, blah 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 blah. So I started that in February, and then the whole pandemic thing was already like here and about. It was just yesterday. I didn't really know the details, and there's some things that something had already happened in my life, so I was never keeping up with the news or anything that was happening in the world. The only thing was trying to get my mental health back in that good state and everything. So eventually, I went to my fashion school, tried to push through. But if in March, then that was the whole kidding. When I was thinking that, okay, at least since I'm resuming school in September, because I had to defend my admission, yeah. So since I'm resuming school in September, I would apply in June. In August, I'm leaving the country. Nothing's going to stop me. Blah blah blah. Then the whole pandemic thing started becoming like really serious. For it's March, just said lockdown. Everything done lockdown, like including TLS. Every time I'm like, okay, I can't, like, okay, just Kokoma kill me. Like, why is life so difficult? It was frustrating. I was sad. I was I felt like the world was against me. I felt like the world was against my family. See, between the whole pandemic, the way I was prayerful, oh my God, it felt like, because I didn't even understand what was happening. I could not, because I was thinking that maybe I would do my application early enough, get my results, like the new tuberculosis, like because I had to go for tests like consecutive days, like 3 consecutive days and everything. So I was like, I'll get my results once I know everything is fine, blah blah blah. I would apply by June in Kinikon. I was, putting all of the plans. I got just like nothing. So everything went on lockdown, and I was like, okay. At that point, I didn't know what to do. At some point, I wanted to start applying for jobs again because I didn't want to go back to my job because I was not like I was enjoying the job like 100%. So I was like, okay, maybe I should start applying for other jobs and just forget about this whole thing and get my refund because I'd already paid some money for my tuition. I was like, fine and everything. But eventually, July, I think it was July, things started helping up small, and I went for a new tuberculosis test, because the one I had was already expired or almost expired. So because you only have it valid for 6 months, so I had to go. When I went for the second one again, they're telling me that there was scar. I said there's no scar anywhere. Oh. There's no scar. See, there is, but so I explained the whole this and they checked my database and everything, and they were like, oh yeah, that they can see that it's something that is healing up and everything. That so eventually I was the last person to leave that day, but I got my new tuberculosis certificate, and then a couple weeks later I put in for my application. But unfortunately, because of there was a backlog between like March and I think July of 2020, there was no date for submission. So I had just said whatever, at least it means there's progress, at least they've opened, at least I shall go. Because then they were like, oh, maybe some universities were saying that they're not going to open for a year. So I was like, let me might get a job. But when the UK university started saying that, oh fine, they would open, you do remote learning, you could learn from your country or come from your country, study from your country and everything, and once you get your visa approved, you can always move in before December of that year. So I was like, okay fine, that's good. So eventually in July I did my application, but I didn't get a date until August. I think it was the ending of August I got a date. And when I got a date, before now you would always do like interviews for your application, but luckily just the week I was going to, you see, I thought I was praying so much, but just the week I was going to go for my interview, because I had read so much, I'd practiced so much. When you're like, you don't want anything to mess this up, this is like the only chance to know what the future is going to hold, like at that point. So I just practiced and practiced. If you had woken me up anytime in that period, I would just be telling you, my name is this, I am studying this, I have chosen this university because of this, yada, everything. But eventually, the week I was supposed to go for my interview, that Monday, I think my interview on a Thursday, so I can't remember, the Monday they just cancelled the interviews and said that, okay, you would just come and do your biometrics, and if there's any questions they had, they would call you and all of those things. My darling, hey, I felt like God was just like, everything I had gone through in the past, I felt like God was just like saying that, don't worry my daughter, I have a bigger plan for you, everything's going to be fine. So I went for my biometrics, it was good, and when I thought everything was fine, this devil, he tried me honestly. So there's this thing we call that's called the certificate of acceptance. So that's like it's like your ticket to getting your visa. If your school do not give you that, then obviously you cannot apply for it. It's like a major document. So on that certificate, my name was fine, at least when I got it. I showed my mom and my siblings, and everyone had seen that, okay, yes, the name is like correct. Just after I had done my biometrics, a week after, there was 6 days, like 6 working days into the application, whatever, I realized that instead of spelling my name as Damilola, that's Damilo, L-A, the name was spelled as Damiola. Hey God, what kind of Jesus Christ. I had at that point I looked at it over and over, and I realized even on my admission letter it was like that. And I'm like, my village people, what have I done? Like, can't you just let me leave this country? Can't you see that the country is so I reached out to my university, and they're like, oh my God, Chippy, we told you to check it. Why didn't you check it? Like, now that I've submitted the visa, there's nothing they can do. I have to just wait for the results. And now that my name is not correlating, there might be like a mistake and everything. After I started praying again, God help me. Like, I'm almost there. Like, I cannot not get there. Like, so, luckily, to God be the glory, a couple days later, I got my visa approved. I was super... No, I didn't know, because the UK wouldn't tell you it has been approved, but they just tell you that your visa or your passport is now ready for collection. So I remember that day I was trying to make like a dress, and it was like 2:30 p.m. and anyone that knows me knows I live in Ikorodu, and I was supposed to go to Ikeja. It was on a Friday, Abby. Yeah, I think it was on a Friday or on a Thursday, I can't remember. And from Ikorodu to Ikeja, without traffic is not far, but with Lagos traffic it's crazy. Ikorodu is very far, and I didn't even stay in the I stayed very far in Ikorodu. My darlings, I did not care. I took bike. Like, I was going to get it that day because I could not. It was on a Friday. Yeah, I could not wait over the weekend to know what it was. So I got tickets. Luckily, I got just when they were about to close. And at that point, I remember I think I wore Jalamia and face cap. If you had seen me, think I'm coming from the market, but I didn't care. Then I opened the envelope and I saw that it was approved. I almost screamed, but I could not scream. I was just so happy. Like I just go back home. I was so happy. My friend was really excited, and immediately I booked my flight ticket. And yeah, I did not waste time. The minute I got to see, it took me a couple of days, and I left Nigeria into the UK. It was really exciting. The whole process, the moment, everything. I don't know. It was just a lot. A lot happened. Like I can't remember all of the details per se, but like those times were like really trying because I didn't know how it was going to be like. Like it was just so much, and eventually, I'm just thankful. I'm here. It's been almost a year now, and I'm so excited. It's been a lot of journey. Like trust me, the how do I put it? The way people say, oh, being if you once you move to the abroad, everything's going to be. Trust me, it's not always like that, but at the end, it's always worth it because every hard work you put, by the time you start seeing like results for your hard work, you feel very, very happy and grateful for the opportunity to be here and everything. So, yeah, that's my story, guys. Yes, guys, so that's it for today. So, I hope you enjoyed all of my stories and talks. So, basically, if you're thinking about moving, if you're about to move, if you're still planning on moving, if you recently moved, if you have already moved, or you just want to hear my gist, just make sure you watch my next videos because I will share all of my experiences, everything as they happened, as they've happened in the past couple of months, and even current experiences with you guys. And please, if you've not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like. Make sure you share with your friends and your family, and make sure you turn on the post notification bell because when I post, you get notified. And basically, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you've experienced anything similar to what I experienced for moving, make sure you leave a comment down below. And also, if you have any questions regarding moving and all of those things, you can always reach out to me on Instagram and send me a DM, and I will be as helpful as possible. So, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for today. I'll see you guys in my next video.